I don't know how well this is going to work, but we'll try it and see.
Are we live?
Yeah, we are live.
Oh, hello.
I don't think anyone's joined us yet.
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. We're live.
We're live.
So we're cruising. We're in the truck. Scott's driving. Let's see if I can turn for you to see him. There he is. He's driving. We are on our way to Canton, Ohio. Ed Reed is being inducted into the NFL Pro
Football
Bowl
Hall of Fame.
And Scott was his high school football coach. So anyway, we are headed to Canton, Ohio to watch Ed Reed and get to go to the enshrinement ceremony, hang out with them and some of his buddies from Louisiana. And so, we're excited, and he didn't want to fly. Hey, Tamara, we're headed to Canton, Ohio.
I've got my theory on flying.
What's your theory? Let me turn the
Okay.
camera so you can drive and talk.
My theory on flying is, it depends on how far the trip is. When you're out there flying and the trip is not, all right, I'll just use a 10-hour rule or 11-hour rule. If you leave the house and you got to get up early in the morning, you've got to leave the house. It's a 2-hour drive to Atlanta. Then it's a 2-hour, get there 2 hours early. So by the time your flight takes off, that's 4 hours. Then you're going to fly 2.5 more hours to Canton, Ohio, or to Cleveland.
And that's if you don't have any delays.
That's with no delays. So then you go to Cleveland. Then it's going to take you an hour to get your luggage, get your rental car, get yourself out of the airport. So now that's 5 hours. No, that's 4, that's 6.5. So that's 7.5 hours. Then you get in the rental car and you drive to Canton from Cleveland, and we're actually staying in Alliance. And that's another, let's just say it's an hour. It's probably about an hour and a half. So then you go from 7.5 hours to 9 hours. And all of a sudden I can look down and say, well, I could have drove it in 10.5 hours, maybe 11, and done it in my own car, gone at my own pace. And if you look in the back there, with all the luggage, all the different stuff we have hanging in the back, you can't bring all that on an airplane flight. So
he gets to overpack.
I get to overpack. She gets to overpack. We've got the back of the truck packed. We got the back seat of the truck packed. We're comfortable in our own vehicle. So that's kind of my theory on it. And plus, I love to drive. So I'm not anti-drive, and I like to drive. So, that 10.5 hour, 11.5 gives me all the comforts of home. And she gets to sit over there and do her thing, and she'll tell you about that.
And Stacy says, and if you fly Spirit, you get a canceled flight.
Well, and that's it. You're at the mercy of them. And if I was going to visit my son in Arizona, or my mother in Arizona, or my sister in Arizona, obviously I would fly because that's a multi-day trip. But, we're driving to Canton. We've talked about stopping in Lexington or stopping in Knoxville. But, I drank my coffee before, this afternoon when you came home. I was ready to go, got a good shower, good shave, got dressed, comfortable, got my coffee, got a second wind. We might drive all the way through to Canton. My GPS says we'll be there at 7:30 tomorrow morning. I can do this.
Well, and so we did. Of course, we have our coffee every morning. But then today, when I had a long day at work, and he had to work on fields today, so when I got home, I said, hey, guess what? We're having a second cup of coffee before we hit the road today. And so we set out this evening and had a second cup of coffee before we left. And so we're going to be full of energy for quite a while. And then I also brought our energy patches. So if we get, Jamie, it looks like we're going to be coming through Lexington. Is that right?
Yep, we're going to
Lexington
go through
area.
Lexington.
Yes.
We will be.
Eric says stop in Lexington. Eric, that was the plan, was to stop and sleep in Lexington for a few hours. But I have energy patches, so, we might put an energy patch on about 1 or 2 o'clock.
Well, here's the thing. She's going to
drink another cup of coffee. So we might pull an all-nighter, get to our room in the morning and just sleep until it's time to go to dinner with all of our friends tomorrow evening.
Yeah, we've got a there's a large contingent from Destrehan, Louisiana, heading up to Ohio. I think coaches and administration and staff and husband and wives, there's about 26 of us, total. And then there's also going to be family and friends of Ed and ex-players. We're looking at probably about 100 people from the Dexterhan area being there. So he's going to have a great representation at the Hall of Fame induction. And, I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. But look, when we get going tonight and we start driving, I've got that Energizer Bunny go, go, go mentality. I promise you, I made her bring a blanket and her favorite pillow. She'll be conked out over there, and she'll wake up. We'll be in Canton. She'll go, "Oh, we're already here."
So I think that he has just challenged me. Is that a challenge?
That's probably a challenge.
Okay, well, I probably am going to accept this challenge. So, you know what? We might be going live at 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. Just to check in and see where we are, and let's see who might win this challenge.
Well, we're
probably
cruising.
him, but don't tell him.
Hey, we're cruising through Chattanooga, and Mr. Tittle, you were right. You said 5:30.